You need to support the voice from down here and put the placement up here. Huh? What does that even mean? Let's get vocal. To support the Get Vocal campaign, like and share these videos. Click subscribe to stay up to date with all the videos, and comment to add your voice to our community. Now, if you hang out in the vocalist world long enough, like a few seconds, you're sure to hear two of the most common words: support and placement. But for me, this is usually a red flag that the person, whether it's a coach or anyone else, doesn't fully understand how the voice works, especially if that's all that they talk about. That's because these terms, support and placement, are so vague and practically meaningless. It's like saying, you've got to really want it. Well, of course that's true, but what does that mean and how helpful is that? In fact, let's say that I'm coaching you right now and I say, it's a good job, but you just have to support it more from down here and put your placement higher, like up here. Like, what exactly am I telling you to do? Nothing specific. I'm basically telling you to be the ball. So the next time someone says that to you, ask them exactly what they mean and let me know what they say. I'd love to hear it because, for me, support, placement, they're just not that helpful. So I'm going to split this into two videos, one for support and one for placement. And after watching these videos, you might just know more about them than most people do. I'm going to deal with support first because that is the one that's used way more often. And it's the one that many times leads to even more vocal problems if it's misunderstood. And we'll cover placement in a second video. Right, so you've probably heard this phrase more than any other phrase. You have to support your voice, or you need more support. But what is support? Should it be hard to do? Hard to train? Should it be drastically different for all of the different pitches and volumes? Well, no. No, it shouldn't be hard to do, and no, it doesn't differ all that much no matter what you're doing. In basic terms, support is the amount of air pressure that the voice needs to vibrate freely with minimal tension. Now that last part is super important, with minimal tension. If you think support is grunting or pushing air out, you're wrong, and you're going to cause more trouble and potentially hurt yourself. You can't get more support by just pushing out more air, and it should not be more work. Let me show you what I mean. Can you do this? Even a young kid can usually do that with zero training, right? But how do you know how much air pressure you need to get your lips moving? You just figure it out. Now, what if I want to make a louder buzz? How do I do that? If you said more air, you're half right. But more air is not the initial change, the driving force to get louder. If I just increase the air and do nothing else, my lips blow apart. The initial thing you do to get louder is to press your lips tighter together, creating more skin touching. Now, this increased area of connected skin now requires more air pressure to vibrate, so we need more air to support the vibration. But this is secondary to the initial action of more lip skin touching. Changing the air first, then trying to get your lips to vibrate louder is completely backwards. Lip pressure first, then adjust the air. And so is true of the voice. First, you set your voice up in a certain configuration based on the sound that you want to make. Then you figure out how much air it takes to support that configuration. A big part of voice training is learning to balance those things to make the sounds that you want, no matter what they are, with as little effort as possible. But just changing the air to change a sound or trying to just add more support is backwards, and it will lead to more effort and potentially more problems. You'll often hear that air is the fuel for the voice like gas is the fuel for a car. And there's truth to that. Fast engine, more gas. But if there's a problem with the engine, giving it more gas is going to make it worse, not better. You can't just give the car more support with more gas. So, the next time you think about supporting your voice, think that you're finding the right balance of air, which could be more or less depending on what you're doing, instead of just adding something that, to be honest, most often looks more like tension to me than support. True vocal support should feel effortless. And now that you know what support is, how do you place it? We'll get into that next.